What's going on, everybody? I'm the Entertainist and welcome back to my Christmas countdown. So this week is going to be Jim Carrey holiday movies. He's got a couple of them in there, so that's what this week's theme is going to be. And for this one, I gotta do the one that's most well known for what he did for Christmas movies, and that is Dr. Seuss's How the Grinch Stole Christmas. How the Grinch Stole Christmas is directed by Ron Howard, stars Jim Carrey as the iconic, notorious character who just hates Christmas and lives in the town of Whoville, where all the Whoville just obsess over Christmas and literally devote their entire lives to celebrating this holiday. In my top 10 Christmas movies video, I ranked this at a number 4, so I really enjoy this movie, and I watched it the other day. And every time I watch this movie, it's like I like it a little bit more. It's weird. I grew up with this movie. I literally would watch it every Christmas growing up. I remember even seeing it in theaters when I was a child and kind of being a little spooked by the Grinch, but since I was such a fan of Jim Carrey, I was like, oh, no, I'm good. And I loved it as a kid, don't get me wrong. I think I enjoy it a little bit more now because all the adult jokes in the movies I'm starting to understand now. Like jokes that I'm not saying like there's the biggest sexual jokes. There are a couple of those in there. But like just jokes that a kid wouldn't find funny, that an adult would find funny. Like I find this movie funnier every time I watch it, and I just enjoy it more. Jim Carrey, like how I feel with Will Ferrell about Elf, that is how I feel with Jim Carrey with this movie. He carried this movie, the perfect guy to play the Grinch. He's just so funny, bringing his Jim Carrey-isms to the screen. How he's just, you know Jim Carrey. He's a very over-the-top and very animated and goofy guy who has like all the comedic body language, and he brought that with the Grinch, and it just could not have been any better. The voice, the movement, the jokes, the punchlines, everything about it. And even like the creepiness, like when he, in the very beginning, when he reveals his face, and he's like, I guess I could use a little social interaction. And does that. Yeah, I mean, that looks like the Grinch, like the cartoon, either the one from the cartoon from the 60s or in the book itself. Everyone's great in this movie. Jeffrey Tambor is the mayor of Whoville. The little girl plays Cindy Lou Who. There really isn't a bad acting job in this movie. And let me talk about Ron Howard for a second. Ron Howard directed the fuck out of this movie. How Whoville looks, it looks so great. It literally looks like Dr. Seuss built his own town. Like if the Dr. Seuss world actually existed. How the Who's look. How they blended in their weird looking pointy noses with the actual face of the actor. And you can't tell that that's makeup, at least in my eyes. I'm like, wow, that looks really real. And last year, a little off note, but last year I went to Universal for Christmas time, and they do a whole, because there's a Dr. Seuss land, so they do a whole Grinch thing over there, and they have the Who's from Whoville walk around. It's the same makeup crew. I mean, it's Universal. Universal made this movie, so obviously probably the same makeup crew or whatever. But they do a really good job, especially with how Carrey looks, how the Who's look, and then just the town of Whoville. It's perfect. The production design is A1, on point. There's nothing bad you can say about it. Not only do I think they nailed the source material of the book, they also did a good job with the original things they brought to the screen. How they fleshed out the Grinch's character and just the Who's in Whoville. Because in the book and in the cartoon, we don't really get enough of Whoville except, oh, they love Christmas. Oh, there's the Grinch, he hates it, and he's going to steal their presents, and that's the story. We get a lot more to it. We get the whole Christmas festival they do and the Grinch goes to is one of the funniest scenes when they're just shoving pudding into his mouth and he's hating it and then he warms up to it. The relationship with this girl he loved as a kid and the mayor and how he hates him and is jealous of the Grinch because this girl liked him more than the mayor. Honestly, I think it's a little crazy when people say that this movie is not as good as the Illumination one, the animated one. I watched that movie. It's okay. It's not terrible, but it's not this movie. How can you get better than the Jim Carrey one? In my eyes, it's perfect. I have no flaws with it at all. It is hilarious. I find it funny every time I watch it. It does a perfect job nailing the Christmas feel. The production design's perfect, the music's really good. I have no issues with this movie at all, and that is why How the Grinch Stole Christmas gets a 5 out of 5 stars. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Next video I'll be doing will be Disney's A Christmas Carol. That stars Jim Carrey, so we are on the Jim Carrey holiday movies theme. I hope you guys are enjoying this Christmas countdown. Please comment below on what you think of How the Grinch Stole Christmas. What's your favorite Christmas movie? I'd love to hear from you guys. Please comment below. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace.